Louis Gohmert, he's a storied nut job, been in the news for just absurd, ridiculous claims. I can go down the list. We're not gonna, because this is arguably the most egregious. So he put forward a resolution on the House floor calling for the Democratic Party, including in other organizations and symbols, to be banned from Congress. Now, I'm going to get into why this is so ridiculous. You can probably already see, but I'm just going to give you the full context here. So first, let's go into what he's actually saying. He put forward a resolution banning organizations or political groups that have historically supported the Confederacy or slavery in the United States. A list, he said, that includes the Democratic Party. Quote from the Hill. Now, why is this so stupid? Because today, the federal moratorium on evictions is about to expire. They halted evictions for 4 months in the CARES Act. For 4 months. But people are still struggling. A third of families did not make rent at the start of the month. A quarter of families in the largest city in the country have not made rent since March. 12 million households, according to some estimates, are about to be kicked out on their ass because this moratorium on evictions is expiring. Today, the moratorium on evictions is expiring. They are no longer protected. People who have not made their rent in months are about to be kicked out on their ass. Kicked out on their ass. Where are they going to go? Going to stay with your auntie? Going to sleep on the streets? Going to go to the shelters? What if they're all booked? What if they're all booked? What if your house is abandoned down the street, but you got to sleep on the street? If you got to sleep in the cold on the street while your house is abandoned because you couldn't make rent, because the government wasn't there, the government abandoned you. The government abandoned you. Imagine how that's going to look for the tens of millions of people who are about to be kicked out on their ass. How's that going to look? What are they going to do? They're going to be scared. They're going to be angry. They're going to be confused. There's about to be chaos in the streets because we abandoned our people. Our elected officials are abandoning our people. More context for you. At the end of the week, the lifeline protecting 30 million Americans who were kicked out of their job because of the pandemic, that's about to expire. That's about to expire. The extended unemployment benefits, $600 a week, that's about to be cut. Gone. Where's it going to go? Where are those people going to go? What are they going to do? They ain't got a job. Cases are still surging across the country. We're still pushing for reopening. Meanwhile, we haven't gotten a handle on the virus. We're top 10 in the world in cases per capita. Meanwhile, the rest of the developed world has gotten a handle on the virus. We haven't, in the richest country in the history of the world. And those people kicked out of their jobs, where are they going to go? Where are they going to go? What are they going to do? What are they going to do with that frustration? What are they going to do with that fear? All those people sleeping on the streets, what are they going to do? All those people who can no longer feed their kids, what are they going to do? Tell me, what are they going to do? Meanwhile, while all this is occurring, at the end of the week and today, tens of millions of people are about to be thrown into economic desolation. And you're introducing legislation to ban the Democratic Party. You're grandstanding. This has nothing to do with, I want to get rid of symbols of hate. You know damn well it has nothing to do with that. This is grandstanding. This is you making the point that Democrats are going too far with the culture war. Who gives a fuck about the culture war when people in your district cannot eat? Who gives a fuck about the culture war when people in your district are starving, when they can't feed their kids, when they're sleeping on the street? Who cares about the culture war, Louis? Who cares, bro? Who cares, Mitch? Who cares, Nancy? Who cares? Why are you sitting twiddling your thumbs when today millions of people could lose their home? What is wrong with you, dude? And that's the thing. They think they're not going to pay. They think they're not going to pay for this. They genuinely believe they're going to get away with this, that they can continue this. They can continue with the rhetoric about the statues. They can continue the rhetoric about banning the Democratic Party and introducing a little payroll tax cut. Or your number one priority in this entire package, meanwhile, as tens of millions of people are about to be kicked out of their homes, your number one priority is liability protections for huge corporations. You think you're going to get away with that? You giving us crumbs and giving them, the corporations, trillions? The richest Americans run away with $500 billion in wealth over this pandemic. You think you're going to get away with that? Abandoning the working class while we're sleeping on the streets? While people across oppressed communities across this country can feed their kids, you think you're going to You think you're really going to get away with that? What is wrong with you? Oh, you have another thing coming. Those George Floyd protests are about to look like a Candyland stroll. They're about to look like a little trip with your family to Disney World. They're going to look like little Mickey Mouse ears flapping, giving your kids a little hug. That's what it's going to look like. It's going to look like a paradise compared to the shit fest that's coming if you don't handle this crisis. If you don't implement a UBI, if you don't nationalize the payroll, if you don't give the small businesses the aid they need, if you don't give the child care centers the aid that they need, if you don't give the schools the aid that they need, if you don't provide for your constituents. You think you're gonna you really think you're gonna get away with that? Nancy Pelosi sitting on your ass while the Republicans are giving us crumbs. You think you're gonna get away with that? Mitch McConnell giving us fucking crumbs. Ted Cruz advocating for giving us nothing. You think you're really gonna get away with that? Louis Gohmert in the middle of a crisis, taking away airtime, talking about banning political parties and banning symbols for as a little stunt for grandstanding and attention. You think you're gonna get away with that? As tens of millions of people can't feed their kids, are you serious? No. Here's what's going to happen. They're going to burn this shit to the ground, or you get your act together and fight for real reform. That's what's going to happen. The Overton window, the little crap that they could get away with before, pre-COVID, it's done. It's not going to happen. There's a reason why tens of thousands of people walked out of their job on Monday. That didn't get mainstream coverage, but they did. Tens of thousands of people walked out of McDonald's, walked out of Amazon warehouses, walked out of transportation services, nurses walked out, and 60 labor unions sponsored an action walking out of their jobs because they are sick and tired of this shit. There's a reason that a black man's life was squished out under the knee of a cop, and people the next night came out and burned down a precinct, burned down Minneapolis, burned down cities across the country. You think that's going to look like a fucking cakewalk? That's only the beginning. This crisis is becoming a huge fucking snowball, and it's burling down the mountain. And the only thing that can save us from utter chaos and us burning down this country is you getting your act together. But will they? Maybe not in time. That's why it's on us. That's why it's on us. They don't care. They're sold out to the donors. Through and through. They're in that bubble. The veil's over their eyes. They don't see this shit. They genuinely think they can get away with this. So it's on us. It's on us. We have to be the change. We have to get involved. You have to join movements and organizations fighting for real change. You have to make calls for progressive champions. Alex Morse is running. Ed Markey is running for re-election. Got Shahid Buttar over there trying to unseat Nancy Pelosi. You have progressive champions fighting. Mike Siegel down in Texas. You have champions fighting. You have champions trying to get in here and create real change. You have it. You have the opportunity. We can mobilize today for a general strike to get their attention. We can bring hundreds of thousands of bodies onto the lawn what the fuck am I saying? We can bring hundreds of thousands of bodies out to fight for real change in a general strike, mobilizing as a march on Washington. We can do actions like that. We can organize strikes. We can organize protests. We can organize demonstrations. We can even organize a fucking riot. We can do whatever we have to do to get their fucking attention. We can do it today. We can do it today. We can grab headlines today. We can grab their attention today. We can make them listen today. But it's on you. It's on me. It's on all of us. You can't just sit around anymore, bro. The stakes are too high. Today, 12 million families could be kicked out on their ass. Today, the lifeline for 30 million people who lost their job is gone. Today. I'm not kidding, bro. It's not an exaggeration. Today. So you have a choice. You can mobilize and fight for those people who are being abandoned by our government. You can sit on the sidelines twiddling your thumbs, just like the people in power. I say different. I say do different. I say be better. I'm trying to empower y'all. I'm trying to inspire y'all. I'm trying to get you out there fighting. You can join Sunrise with me. There's Wide Awake actions where they went to Mitch McConnell's house protesting for justice. We can organize. You can join the people protesting for a billionaire's tax in New York. We can all come together and march on Washington, bringing out thousands and thousands of people calling for a Green New Deal. We can do that today. But it's on you. It's on you. I can't make you. Nobody can make you. Nobody can make you share this clip to your friends and family. That's on you. You are what's going to save this country. You. Not just me, not just Bernie, not just AOC. But it's going to take all of us coming together fighting for real change. That's what's going to save us. Otherwise, people going to burn this shit to the ground regardless. Because ain't nobody taking this shit no more. So let's create real change. Let's create a movement that they can plug into, voice their frustrations, and create real change with it. That anger, that frustration, that fear, that can be our vehicle that powers us to victory. But it's on me and you to make that happen. So join today. Join the movement today. DM me about where to go. I got you. We can do this.